Have you ever wondered how many books have been published in the whole world? Though it's impossible for us to come up with an exact number, but according to Google, there are 130 million published books in the whole wide world. Interesting, right? Another trivia. The most sold book in the world is the Bible. At an estimate, there are 5 billion printed copies of this in the whole wide world. Wow! Good day, I am April Joy B. Cabana, a third-year Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English student in Capalong College of Agriculture, Sciences, and Technology. And today, we will going to talk about the functions of literature. Before we formally talk about the functions of literature, we will define first what is literature. So literature is best defined as a writing that uses artistic expression and form and is considered to have merit or importance. It refers to the written works such as novels, short stories, biographies, memoirs, essays, and poetry. First function of literature is knowledge sharing. So this is the most important and most basic function of literature. So knowledge sharing helps us fill ourselves with important knowledge and become smarter. Number 2, upbringing. So literature helps us clearly distinguish between the good and the evil, which in an early age we were able to understand what's the right thing to do and what makes it bad. So the third function of literature is communication. So communication does not only exist between two or more persons having a conversation. Hence, it can also be found in books. This happens between the reader and the author. What makes it more interesting is that we can make it as a topic for a discussion when talking to our friends. Great, right? The fourth function of literature is entertainment. So literature is a good source of entertainment. How? Reading books can take us anywhere without actually leaving our chair. It is good in consuming our time, and at the same time, it is fun as it broadens our creative minds. The function of literature is shaping our aesthetic taste. As defined by Okafor, literature helps us form our own vision of beauty. It pleasantly influences us, changing our behavior in society and attitude towards people in general. And lastly, it helps us notice everything beautiful around us. The sixth function of literature is self-development. So how does literature help us to develop ourselves? Simply, literature fills ourselves with new knowledge and cultivate good qualities and strive for something more. We are now on the seventh function of literature, development of thought process. The more we know, the more we have the desire to tell others about it and find out what they think about it. This way, we get to enhance our thoughts to better understand what's behind the literary piece so that a comprehensive idea can be shared to our friends. The eighth function of literature is pleasure. So people spend a lot of time scrolling their phones, switch up to various online applications to find pleasure. What they don't know is that literature has something to do with that. We get pleasured every time we read good qualities of verses from a beautiful book, good plot, great characters, and many more. We're now getting closer to the 10th function of literature, but before that, the 9th function of literature is shaping speech. So the more words we learn, the more confident we are in talking constructive sentences to our friends. So simply, literature enriches our vocabulary. Finally, we are now on the 10th function of literature according to Okafor, the transformation. So literature helps us transform our society through criticism of societal ills and injustice. It also brings awareness for pointing out evil deeds in our society. And lastly, it simply transforms us in a way of being aware of what's good and bad in our life as well as to our society. It is great how literature works and changes our lives, right? So, that ends my discussion about the 10 functions of literature. So before I will formally end this discussion, I will leave you this quote by William Shakespeare. If we are true to ourselves, we cannot be false to anyone else. So, That ends my discussion. I am April Joy B. Cabanya. Thank you everyone for watching.